Keyblades, we all love them, right? So what better way to celebrate completing KH1 without changing my Keyblade than ranking all the Keyblades that I couldn't use? I know it sounds ironic, just bear with me. When it comes to Kingdom Hearts 1, I think all of the Keyblades in this game are really solid. I didn't find myself absolutely hating one singular Keyblade, unlike with other games. But before we begin, this ranking is going to be based on two things: utility in battle and design. And just to be clear, these are all just my personal opinions, so if you disagree with any of my rankings, feel free to comment below how you would rank them. Now without further ado, let's board the gummy ship and get right into it. When it came to picking the absolute bottom of the barrel for Keyblades, I found it difficult to choose one single Keyblade that was the worst. Then I remembered Monstro, and I remembered this. Wishing Star isn't inherently bad, its stats are honestly pretty decent, but by the time you swing back around to Traverse Town after Monstro, you're most likely already carrying a stronger Keyblade. Or heck, you could totally miss it if you just never went into Geppetto's shop. As for the design, I think it's fine. I get it's supposed to be sort of puppet-like, but when I think of the scene from the movie where the puppets are all dancing, I think exciting and fun colors. But the whole thing just comes across as rather dull to me. Not the worst Keyblade in this series, but one of them had to come in last. How is this what we get from Atlantica? I went through all that swimming and bad controls and I got awful dolphin just for this? I know I sound harsh, but the design is just not doing it for me. I get it's supposed to be based on Sebastian with the whole crab thing, but like, could you imagine if we got a Keyblade based on the Triton? Like, do you know how awesome that would look? Stat-wise, it's fine. It's meant to be a more magic-based Keyblade, but I feel like it gets outshined by another Keyblade if you end up going to Halloween Town before Atlantica. But if not, it's decent enough for a while. Overall, not a fan of the design, but the stats give it a little bit of an edge over Wishing Star. It is bizarre, pun totally intended, that we don't get a Keyblade from sealing the keyhole in Wonderland. No, in order to find this thing, we need to reach a certain entrance in the Lotus Forest and get to the side wall of the Bazaar Room, then interact with the portrait to go through Super Mario 64 style, and then you still need to know the White Trinity in order to get to this thing. Yeesh! The design is actually pretty solid. I like the bright colors and the different shapes of the playing cards, but this is another one that you could completely miss if you just didn't know where to look. And it suffers the same fate as Wishing Star, being that by the time you reach it, it's going to be majorly outshined by other Keyblades. Overall, great design, but sucks you can't get this sooner. I have mixed feelings for Lionheart. On one hand, I think it's sick that we have a Keyblade based on Leon, but on the other hand, this Keyblade is just kind of boring? I feel like just missing something. Everything is just the same shade of gray, and I just don't care for it. Stats-wise, it's pretty good. It doesn't compare to some of the late-game Keyblades, but it's at least a fun reward for beating Leon and Cloud in the Hades Cup. Not a bad Keyblade, but just missing something in its design to make it amazing. Jungle King is fine. I don't hate its design, I don't love it, it's just fine to me. I kinda wish we got a more green design to better suit the green-leafed canopies that we keep getting lost in, but I digress. It's the first Keyblade, or rather keychain, that you get from the first batch of worlds. And yes, for those of you unaware, Sora gets keychains that change the design of the Keyblade, not actual Keyblades. Anyways, as such, its stats provide a nice upgrade over the basic Kingdom Key, which is nice for the return trip to Traverse Town and some of the other Disney worlds in the early game. I don't really have any more to say about this one. It's just a Keyblade that exists. I said this in the episode when I obtained it, but when I was a kid, I had no idea why this hunking Cheka medal had the name Chococobo? Chococobo? Huh? I got into Kingdom Hearts because of the Disney aspect. I knew Cloud was from Final Fantasy, but outside of that, my knowledge of the series was zero. 14-year-old me would laugh and throw this Keyblade in the bottom of the trash bin because it looked awful and its stats seemed mostly negative. Now, with Final Fantasy being probably my second favorite game series of all time, I can see that it's clearly based on the Buster Sword, and I love the little Chocobo keychain at the end. Stats-wise, it's one of those weapons in games that don't offer much utility outside of just being fun to play with. It has an insane strength stat, but reduces your MP and doesn't deal a lot of crits. I find it fun when the devs put in items or weapons that shift your strats extremely one way or the other. They're not made to be useful in most situations, they're made to be fun. Overall, it's a nice reference to Cloud's Buster Sword, even if it's something I wouldn't really use. Similar to the Metal Chocobo being entirely focused on strength, we have Spellbinder, which focuses on magic. Spellbinder gets a slight edge over the previous one in that it doesn't negatively affect any of your stats. Its strength isn't great compared to pretty much every Keyblade you can obtain after it, but the plus 2 MP is nice early on. Design-wise, I like it. Something about the different shades of blue just worked for me. I think the handle is pretty unique looking compared to other Keyblades. Now I can't say I've ever really used this one either, but it's nice. I like it. Fairy Harp is nice. Ish. I've never been a big fan of short Keyblades, they just tend to get annoying for me.
Fairy Harp is like a slightly better Spellbinder, but with one less MP boost. It can be useful for some magic-based runs, but on a casual run, I usually just fall back to something else. Its design is another one that I just feel like is missing that sparkle, that shine that gives it its edge, but it's by no means a dull Keyblade. The colors are nice, and I like the nods to both Peter and Tink, but I don't know, something just missing here. One thing that I find kinda annoying though is, why is it called Fairy Harp? Last I checked, those are pipes, not a harp. I guess fairy pipes doesn't sound as catchy, but I don't know. I actually like Three Wishes a lot. Its design is clean and stylish, and is clearly based on the lamp. I think that's the perfect inspiration for this, considering you get Genie as a summon after sealing the keyhole. For its stats, it's a nice Keyblade for mid-game. A good upgrade from Jungle King, and it'll easily carry you through Monstro in either Atlantica or Halloween Town depending on your pick. I don't really have any negative things to say about it. It's just a good, solid Keyblade. Now we get to our first Keyblade on the list that we can actually use. Kingdom Key D is only shown in one scene right at the end before the credits roll. It's just a color swap of the Kingdom Key, but I actually really like the gold blade and silver handle. It feels more royal, I guess? I don't know if that's the right word, but it's nice. I can't really say anything else about it considering I only see it for 10 seconds. But it's simple. And clean. When you walk away. We've made to the top 10! Quick spoiler alert. Olympus Coliseum is the world that never freaking dies. You visit this world so many times in this series, and you get several Keyblades from different visits. But I think Olympia is still one of the best designs out of all of them. The Cloud and Pillar designs, along with Hercules literally being emblazoned on the blade, is awesome. Just like the Mighty Hero, this Keyblade is strong. It doesn't give any decent MP benefits, but its strength and crit stats make it a solid Keyblade for even some of the late game bosses like Riku Ansem. Getting this Keyblade requires beating Hercules in his own cup, and I think that's the perfect reward for going up against a god. Just remember to bring some barrels! Up to this point, all the Keyblades we've seen have been all happy and colorful and Disney-inspired. But the Keyblade of Heart is the first purely evil Keyblade we see, and its design is perfect. Black and red with no keychain, and that sharp tip where you can see that the heart is incomplete due to Kairi's heart being absent. It would be cool to see it complete, but I think having it incomplete and jagged at the tip makes it even more intimidating, especially when Sora stabbed himself with it to free Kairi, which shattered my heart as a kid. Not only is it the first purely evil Keyblade we see, when we see it, it's being wielded by your former best friend who's been corrupted by the main villain. This is the only other Keyblade in the game that we can't physically use, but that doesn't mean it doesn't leave a lasting impact. Halloween Town is one of the coolest worlds in the whole game. Atmosphere, the world's costumes, all of it is awesome. Pumpkinhead is everything I like about Keyblades. Long reach? Check. Good strength and crits? Check. Slick and simple design? Check. This Keyblade is easily the one I use the most throughout the last batch of Disney Worlds. It's a great Keyblade with a great design, all coming from a great world. Easily my favorite Disney World Keyblade. Divine Rose is one of the most powerful Keyblades in the game, save for the fact that it's short. Despite its length, it has a whopping 13 strength, which is insane. It is easily one of the best Keyblades you can use in the endgame. My only gripe with it is its design. I wish it had a little more Beauty and the Beast inspiration in it, like maybe make it gold instead of purple on the blade for Belle's dress, but I forgive it for being an absolute unit. Great things come in small packages. Now we get to the part of the list that is going to be mostly ranked by design due to the fact that I suck at KH1 gameplay and have not obtained some of these Keyblades. The first being Diamond Dust. This Keyblade is the strongest magic-wise, raising your MP by 3, the highest any Keyblade can raise it. You can obtain this weapon by defeating the Ice Titan in the Gold match, which I haven't done. I adore its design though. The swirling of blues and the bent icy shape of the Keyblade is beautiful. Also love that its name is based on Shiva's signature attack from Final Fantasy. I haven't used it, but for those doing magic runs, it's a must-have. I can pride myself in saying that I have managed to obtain the ultimate weapon in every KH game on a console. Except this one. Obtaining this Keyblade is a nightmare, having to get extremely rare synth materials that can take hours upon hours of grinding. But what can I say? It's the ultimate weapon, the absolute strongest Keyblade in the game. Its design is also one of my favorites out of all the ultimate designs. With gold accents and the Dream Sword literally being the main blade, it feels like the perfect fusion of the Dream Sword and the Keyblade, with stats that outshine literally everything else. It may be the hardest Keyblade to obtain in the game, but it is worth it. So, you know how I said that Ultimate Weapon is the hardest Keyblade to obtain? Well...
KH1 is by far one of the hardest secret bosses in the series. The Keyblade itself looks incredible, with the sharp orange and a blade that almost feels like a stupid long katana. It's awesome. Stat-wise, it actually drops your MP by 2, but it makes up for it with its crits. It's not better than the ultimate weapon, but it doesn't need to be. One-Winged Angel is more like a trophy. It's proof that you managed to go through hell and back just to beat this far member of NSYNC. Oh yeah, did you guys know he's voiced by Lance Bass?
By now, you've probably figured out what the top 3 Keyblades are, and I was a little surprised in what managed to claim the top spot. But coming in 3rd place is Oathkeeper. Everything about this Keyblade design is just incredible. The angel wings on the handle, the star at the teeth, and Kyrie's lucky charm for the keychain is just perfect. As far as stats, it's another great one for the endgame, but does unfortunately lose the little beast that is Divine Rose. But it doesn't matter. Oathkeeper is a Keyblade based around Kyrie and her light, and it is the perfect counterpart to one of the next Keyblades on our list. It was incredibly difficult to rank these last 2. One of them is by far one of, if not my favorite Keyblade in the entire series. And the other, well, I'm sure you figured it out what the last 2 are at this point. So with a lot of debating, I ended up with Oblivion taking the number 2 spot. Oblivion is an amazing design. Just like Oathkeeper embodies Kyrie's light, Oblivion embodies Riku's darkness. In fact, it was originally going to be given to you by Riku in the game before that idea was scrapped. The dark bat-like wings on the handle, the chain going up the blade to the teeth, which, fun fact, the teeth resemble the Japanese character for darkness. This is without a doubt the dark counterpart to Oathkeeper, and it is awesome. It is the strongest Keyblade outside of the ultimate weapon, with its only downfall being reducing MP by 1. But a small sacrifice can be made for one of the most powerful Keyblades for the endgame. Now for the number 1 spot. Only one Keyblade can make it here, and it was the one weapon that carried me through my entire playthrough, the one that never left our side except when Riku stole it, the Kingdom Key. How can it not take the number 1 spot? Is it weak compared to literally everything else in the game? Yes, but you know what? It's an icon. It is the weapon that defines Kingdom Hearts. Just like Cloud's Buster Sword and the Master Sword, it is a legendary weapon and it chose Sora. No matter what game it is, there's no reason that you always start with it. It is the Keyblade, and no other Keyblade could claim the top spot. And that's my list. I just want to give a big thank you to you guys. I started this channel just for fun, and while I was working on this video, not only did we get to 20, but we are at 30 subscribers. And while I know that's not a lot, it means a lot to me, and I can't thank you guys enough. I can't wait to continue this awesome series, and let me know down in the comments if you would like to see me rank the Keyblades for more KH games in the future. With that, this is Keyblade Bookworm, signing out.